12 Rules of Life, An Antidote to Chaos by Jordan B. Peterson. You may know about Jordan B. Peterson already. He's very popular on YouTube for being sort of a free thinker. He's sort of a controversial figurehead as well, and I think he's gotten a lot more flack than he deserves because of it, because he's very cut and dry with his ideas, which is why he's been so embraced by the internet and disliked by media, which I can sort of relate to.
I am not going to be a mouthpiece for language that I detest. And that's that!
Have you seen that interview he did with Channel 4? It's sort of gone viral. It became a meme almost, because the lady that tries to interview Jordan try and strawman argue against him. She keeps going, oh, so you're saying this?
You're saying, well, that's just a fact. You're saying it's a fact
there are multiple reasons.
So you're saying that, but you're saying, if it's at the cost of men, but you're saying that makes them unhappy. You're saying it makes them miserable. So you're saying you basically saying, when you're saying that's fine.
So
you're saying
high negative emotion.
You're saying that, let me just get this straight. You're saying that we should, so you're saying like the lobsters.
Don't look at the eyes, Rex.
Her goal was to make him look bad and trash Jordan's name in this interview. He completely shut her down, and it made her look really vicious and really spiteful. And it really made me want to read this book because of it, because I was like, wow, that's really impressive. And the Channel 4 News lady, if you read the damn book, you wouldn't have fallen into that trap. He even discusses strawman arguing and why that's wrong in the book.
But what gives you the right to say that? I mean, maybe that's how women want their relationships, those women. I mean, you're making these vast generalizations.
I'm a clinical psychologist.
I'm just trying to work that out. I mean,
Ha, gotcha.
you have got me. I'm trying to work that through in my head. Yeah, it took a while.
It did.
Anyway, about the book itself, 12 Rules of Life. I didn't read the title. It's a self-help book. I don't think I ever would have read a self-help book. It gave me a lot of new perspectives that I never thought I would even have. It was very interesting, even reading about advice that doesn't resonate with me at all, but just to understand other people. Jordan goes very deep in philosophical thinking and psychological thinking, and he makes these very simple claims, right? Tell the truth, for example, rule 8, or at least don't lie. We know that. We know not to lie, and we know the moral implications of that, but he goes so in depth in a philosophical and like I said, a psychological way, and how that by telling lies it really twists your worldview. I really resonated with it. That was the only rule where I was like, I don't ever want to lie. He really makes a great point here. So I thought that was really interesting. There was a lot of rules I didn't need to read at all, about raising kids, or like how to deal with cope with the failing marriage and that sort of stuff. But you can tell Jordan's goal for this is to help people. You can really appreciate that, at least. I think he unfortunately does it in a way that he goes on a little too long sometimes. Sometimes I find it a bit beating the point to death. And some of the analogies that he made seemed strange at times. They didn't really seem like they fit. He draws comparisons and analogies from Disney movies to old biblical stories. And there's a lot of religious analogies in this book. A lot of religious analogies. And I didn't realize until the very last chapter. I was like, he's religious. I thought he grew up in a Christian household or something like that. And the reason that he drew a lot of religious analogies was because to prove the point that we always knew about this, or maybe this is something that we've known for thousands of years through this biblical text. Whenever I look at self-help, I can't help but feel a bit critical. Like, what is this, some sort of cult book or something like that? And finding out that he was religious in the end, it sort of changed my perspective on the book. I know that's kind of stupid maybe, but even Jordan himself brings it up that the past can be changed from the future, and finding out that he's religious. It's not that big of a deal, but I feel like it's probably unfair for me to say, but anytime self-help, I'm like, this is just some sort of cult following bullshit. It's not at all, but it made me look more critically at the rules, which I think you should do anytime you get advice about how to live your life. So I think that was fine. It didn't ruin anything for me. But I surprisingly, like I said, I really enjoyed this book. It was very fun to read. I will definitely take some lessons from this book. Absolutely. And it also made me understand other people around me better. That was the book I read in January. I want to keep reading.